Good morning, guys. If you're just seeing this hopping on, welcome. I'm getting it started in our business groups and excited to be here with you guys this morning. Welcome on this wonderful Monday. Is this the last day of September? It is September 30th. Exciting. We are 1 week away from launching the BIA drink, 2 weeks away from the new formulation of Amped Hydrate. I would love, as you guys are popping on today, say hi. Let me know how you guys are doing. And at the same point, I would love if you've gotten your new Amped Repair, Tri-Release, all those things, how you guys like the products, what you think of them, what you are, just your initial thoughts and I would love to hear that. And again, good morning, Naomi. We got Sherry, Alyssa, Karina. Welcome, ladies. A whole bunch more. Christina, Jessica. So again, say hi. And if you're just seeing this and you're coming in as we already started, it's the last day of September, which is exciting because it is close to launch of a couple new products. So I would love for you guys to share. Margaret, thank you for sharing that. Let me know what your thoughts. What did you notice? Did you notice that they tasted better? Did you notice that? Just let me know. And awesome, Naomi. That's great. That's great. So today, this isn't an excuse. I'm a little tired. Braxton, my son, got to play in a soccer tournament in California. We had a late flight last night. We were supposed to get in at 11:30. At 1:30, we got in, and then I got woken up around 6:45. So anyways, we're making a go of it this morning, which is exciting to be able to go and see all of you guys. I guess my internet's a little slow. Sorry about that. So today, I just kind of want to talk to you guys and see where you're at. See where you're thinking, where I can help you guys. So this is going to be more questions than necessarily I'm coming at you with answers. This is going to be more hopefully interactive. And I would love to hear what you guys are, thinking, what you guys think of the chat so far. What's an area that I can help you more? What can I talk more about? And Joanne, week is starting strong. One of my gals is halfway to consultant. That's awesome. Good. So who wants to go first? Who wants to, kind of jump on? I know we obviously have some wins here. That's awesome. But, what questions do you guys have? What things can we do? So anyways, wondering, questions for you guys. What is the recommendation number of times a day you can take Tri-Release? So what I have noticed there is the biggest thing is it's kind of up to how much you want to. It is more of, 1 to 2 servings a day is probably enough. 1 to 2 servings is, plenty in regards to trying to get, enough protein into your diet. And so I think beyond that, it comes down to, what are you trying to accomplish? What are your specific goals right now? And if your goals are losing weight, you need additional protein, then you can use Tri-Release for that. Other than that, it's a great for post-workout and just adding in additional protein. And, 1 to 2 times a day kind of fits that bill. Okay. Questions, Chris. In order to help people launch their business, how much to get involved, or just let people dictate that? I'm going to ask you to go through that a little bit more, Chris. Give me a little bit more detail. And Naomi, how do I use Tri-Release? I use Tri-Release in my post-workout. So I've used it to replace half of the Isopro I was using. And then I'll have it later in the day if I need some additional protein to balance out my macros. That's how I use Tri-Release. And I think it's great for that. I think you could use it for cooking. I think you could use it for any of those ways that, you want to fit additional protein into your diet. it really kind of, I think it's wide open. All right. Alyssa, she said, I'm having problems with blind messaging or approaching people about the products and programs. I've tried to speak to them about what they're doing now, but they either stop answering or don't answer at all. Do you have any suggestions? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to dig into this one. So I don't recommend blind messaging anyone. And let me give you some reasons why. I'm going to start with two things. So in regard to social media today, and this is just my opinion. If I'm wrong, I will gladly accept that I'm wrong, but I had to rub my face there because I'm thinking, is when social media really began and started, and you think about 2010, 2011, when it became really mainstream, probably 2012, I'm trying to think when Instagram hit was after that. And, at that point, it was, just imagine if you've ever seen the movie Lion King. And, in Lion King, they have this beautiful Sahara, this desert, this oasis, and all the animals just kind of live within, and they just love, they're happy. There's lions there, yes, but they only hunt what they need, and they kind of protect all the other animals in a way. And, just a picture the gazelle. And a gazelle is going up to this oasis. And, they're eating grass, they're, drinking water, and they're not scared. They're watching, but they're not fearful. And then, as dictates in the movie, and I think this is much in life, the hyenas move in. And the hyenas start to take over, and the hyenas just decimate. They hunt for sport. They take everything they can get. And all of a sudden now all the wildebeest and the gazelles and everything else are scared. And when they go to drink water, they are 100% scared. They're not drinking water. They're not eating right. They're always constantly worrying, are they going to get hunted and killed? And I believe that's where we're at today. And social media has become a place where people feel like they're getting hunted. They're getting, everything is buy, because we've seen, people do it well, but people do it poorly in regards to just attacking people. It's kind of like the same as, telemarketers. Like, I get calls occasionally from telemarketers, and it's more annoying because, like, does this really work? Like, when is the last time someone got a phone call? And, tell me what your thoughts are here. If I am wrong, please. But when's the last time you think you got a phone call and you're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for calling me about this. This is exactly what I needed. You must have had, smart AI on my phone that you heard that's what I need. Websites have that, but not telemarketers. And so my belief is blind messaging is exactly that. And I think it's a great way to drive people away, because I've seen that happen for years. And one of the things that I think is lost there is there's a difference between pitching someone, giving them an offer, as opposed to offering them a solution. So my nutrition business, that's what I was before. I was a nutritionist for dairy cows. And I can remember when I first started that business, a lot of my opinion was, I would go there and, had this education, I had this experience, and I would go to this client and I would be able to assess their problems. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to fix your problems. And to me, I think that was a lot like blind messaging. And what I had to learn was what people think are their problems aren't their problems. What you perceive as their problems from the outside and can assess and have a different viewpoint, they don't agree with. They may not think so. And one of the things that I've done and I've understood as I've grown is to learn to ask questions. Be empathetic. The number one thing a person can do in any business is be empathetic. And I've had to learn that. I've really had to develop it. And so, when you look at whatever product you have to sell, whatever service you had to sell, is, understanding what solution does that person want? Do they want, let's talk about Isagenix. Do they want, they're saying, oh, I need more money. But the reality is they just want to have time so that way they can play with their kids. And money may be a opportunity for them to, pay a bill that, they can get to play with their kids, but really they're deep down in their heart, they just want to play with their kids. Well, if you come in and say, all right, here's how you make money, they just kind of like freak out because they're like, no, that isn't what I want. But they're telling you that's what they want. And so it's just really a process of asking questions. So again, I would never suggest blind messaging. I've never suggested it in 8 years of business because I don't think it works. In my nutrition business, cold calling doesn't work. I mentioned last Friday talking about the entrepreneurial roller coaster. And if you guys are new in business, great, listen to it. If you've been in any business for a couple of years, go listen to it, go read it. And I'm about a third of the way through it. And one of the things he talks about is like, and he had a business in, water softener or whatever, water filtration sales. And then he had a real estate business, and he goes through and he goes, cold calls don't work. So blind messaging is cold calling, and it doesn't work because, everything works from a warm trust and influence. And so it's how do you connect with people? And if you want to build a friend, if you had nothing to sell and you're just like, oh, I'm going to go make a friend, would you pitch them and say, hey, let's get married? No, you would say, hey, I just want to get to know you. I want to learn more about you. And I think that's what is really important about the whole connecting process. I'm going to share another book here. I just happen to have a copy of it right here. John Maxwell, Power of Five. And in here, John has one of the chapters is Connecting Matters, Connection, Power 2. And I'm just flipping to this right now because in here, he has a lot of different principles, and, that relationships need, there's tools and there's principles to it. And I'm just looking for this the right thing is he has in here the ways that he interacts with people and the way that he connects. So he connects with people in 6 ways. He connects with humor. He connects with authenticity, confidence. I naturally feel good about myself and others. Hope, that, encouraging people, passion, and simplicity. And so if you're connecting, reaching out to people has all of those things or any of those things, then that's how I believe you're going to connect with people. But if you're just reaching out to say, I love these products, I want you to buy them, get in line because there's 75 other people. And I think that really isn't adding value. So I know this is a long kind of now, what I think you can do is utilize social media to connect with people, but really do a lot of your connection in person. And I'm sorry, my internet's a little slow this morning. Please forgive me. But I think that's where, when you look at it from a standpoint of so many people today, and this is my belief, and it creates a smaller world, but people want a bigger world, is so many people today are so lonely, and they get behind social media like we have here, and they rely behind that screen. They hide behind their screens. You talk about it. People go out to dinner and they're hiding behind their screens. And we need to be able to develop. And if you do nothing else in this business other than develop the skills to be able to interact with people face to face, go connect for coffee. Go meet up with them. Go learn about their life. And I can guarantee at some way, some point, sometime, and that may be 3 years from now, that Isagenix, there's going to be an opportunity for it. So that was a lot. That was a lot in regards to, blind messaging. And hopefully you don't feel beat up on Alyssa. That was more just a great way to talk about it. And so my suggestion is, find people, so John talks about, who do you be, the understanding the motivations of people, but then there's also understanding like, who do you connect with? What things do you relate to? And, I know you have a little daughter, Alyssa, and, it's relating to people with her, relating to people from, some of the things that have happened in your life. That's how you connect with people. That's how you, build that answer. And I will say this, I will stand by it. And this may not be popular, but the people that are the number one enrollers. In other words, the number one salespeople in network marketing. I don't care what country it is, rarely have the highest earning business. It is the people that develop the most trust, our ability to influence, and the ability to lead, to make it duplicatable. That is what is unbelievable. Alyssa, I will put in the comments, I will put in a link to where you guys can get that book, or I know Allison or Barbie, you guys are watching. If you guys have a link available to get that book, that would be awesome if you guys could post that there. Josette, same. Any of those guys, or excuse me, not Josette or Nat, Natasha, whoever's watching has a link to that, please share it. If not, I will make sure I share it. But that's also a book that I know there's a few other people that have gone through that. Maybe that's something where I could just do a quick 1 day a week, Power of 5 Wednesdays. I'm just thinking out loud here. And if that's something you guys would like, I could go through a chapter of Power of 5. There's 5 powers, obviously. I think there are 6 chapters, 7 chapters. Why you should choose, network marketing, growth, connection, mindset, leadership, significance, and the conclusion of Power of 5. If that's something to be good, maybe I'll just do that and we'll make it quick, 30 minutes. So it's not too detailed, too deep, too whatever. But all right. Josette Naomi said yes. Anyway. Yeah. Any other questions? Because that was a deep one. That was a great one. I really appreciate that, Alyssa. And I think that is something, if we go out with the intention of we're going to build relationships, we're going to connect with people and, share Isagenix from that point of asking questions first before you can possibly share something with them. I think that's what's going to create a lot of momentum and excitement and synergy, especially with these new products. If you're sharing these new products, there's going to be opportunities where you're going to have to, chat and talk and discuss with people. So let me scroll back up here and see if I can. What kind of questions? Oh, Sherry. I mean, that's where you can really, and that's probably something that we can get into, the connecting. When you're talking to people, just ask them about their life and, be inquisitive about them. And the more inquisitive you are about them, and, if you are just getting to know someone, it is literally like the 50 questions to ask on a first date, without quite the depth of date, but it's really that way. Get to know them. Build some trust. I think, again, going back to, we live in such a world where social media and marketing has been so over the top that people expect that you're just trying to pitch them on something, especially if they know you're anywhere involved in network marketing. And how great would it be for somebody to leave a conversation and, send you a text message and say, that was really fun. I know you're involved in network marketing, but other friends in network marketing, and you truly valued me and not just the fact that I could buy your product. And to me, that is, if we go out with that intention, then we're going to really add value to people. And be able to be in that situation where you're talking to someone and, you're sharing about your life, because they'll, eventually ask about you, and you're able to say, yeah, sure, I lost, 80 pounds and I was able to, be healthier and be able to move like I wanted to. Just like, wow, how did you do that? Well, I changed my nutrition. Oh, you didn't work out? No, I didn't at first because I couldn't. And I changed my nutrition. It's like, wow. I think part of that is also tempering down. It's like, yeah, at first I just lost, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, and just kind of kept going. And it was really simple. Thank you, Barbie. Appreciate that. Really simple for you to keep going. And I think those are the questions, those are things to relate, as opposed to just pitching someone, oh, you need to lose weight, here's my product. You need more energy, well, here's my product. Because I think that's the difference that we have to offer over Amazon, is people can go onto Amazon and buy whatever product they want, but they can't get community. They can't get, care. They can't get the interaction in a relationship and saying, does this really work? because a lot of people buy a lot of things and then they get frustrated because it never works. So that was a rant. It wasn't meant to be a rant. It was really answering a question. Are there any other questions you guys have this morning, talking about products, talking about business? Yeah, I can sit here and wait for a second. If you didn't notice, Barbie shared the book link. You can grab the book there. Chris, if I did not answer your question, please share, ask more. Sherry, how do you start a conversation? How do you start a conversation with anyone? Hi. One of the things, I forget where this was from. It was from a book, but it was good. And it's, how many people today can you go out and give a compliment to? Can you give a compliment to everyone you see? And it was kind of funny because in the book, I forget which one it was. It was a good one. And it talked about how kind of awkward it was. And what was interesting is I did this. There's this trainer at the gym, and she's always kind of around my buddies and I when we're there, and super nice. And she says hi to us, and she has this like long, like flowing hair. And being married to a person who used to do hair, I know what kind of hair it takes. Like I can see the difference between extensions and real hair, and this is real hair. And she's always kind of like working out, training her client close to us. And when my buddies and I were there, I said to her, it's like, man, you have really like nice hair. And what's funny about that now is, and I say this in all earnestly, it was just a matter of like complimenting. And now she, has started to talk to me. And she's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I have a network marketing business, Isagenix, nutrition products. She's like, oh, I've heard of that. And talk a little bit about, she used to be an online trainer. Now she's in the gym, but she doesn't like the time and yada, yada, yada. And she goes, I've heard of Isagenix. And the next day she sees me, she's like, hey, my client Melissa told me about Isagenix. I think I'm going to try it. What do you think? And so why I say that is all of that started from a compliment. And so I think the best way to start conversations, even though they may be awkward, they may be tough, is find a way to compliment people. Find a way to compliment people and do it out of the, goodness of your heart, and not like, oh, I'm going to compliment this person so that way they start talking to me and then, no, like make a friend. Because one of the things I think we find today, especially in the generation, I would say Gen X going to millennials, is very few days is there a genuine, heartfelt compliment. It is sometimes baited. It is sometimes people are not there. And so that's how I would suggest to start a conversation, is just give somebody a compliment and they say, thank you, and turn away and walk on. No big deal. The next time they see you, guaranteed they're going to remember it. I think back, for any athletes, for any people that are in sports, I'm a big fan of John Wooden. I'm a big fan of John Wooden, part because he was mentored John Maxwell. So there's that connection. I love, sport and also what the man stood for. And I've also got to be pretty good friends with another one of his mentees, Don Yeager. And so it's interesting to see that play out. And one of the things that John, and if you don't know who John Wooden was, he was the UCLA basketball coach, and he, won 10 national titles and just amazing. And one of his things was, I want to make better people. And, if I recruit the right talent, making better people, and, we're going to win. Did. And he would tell his players, like, hey, if you get a pass and you make a basket, make sure when you're running back down the court, you point to the person that passed it to you. And the guy's like, well, what if he's not looking? He goes, no, they'll be looking. And I think that plays out in life too, is if you give somebody a compliment, they're going to feel some type of connection where it's like, wow, that was really kind. And it's a great way to build a relationship. Okay. Yes, Josette, even in New Brunswick, people feel good, crave those feel good moments. Yes. Love it. Anyways, all right, I'm going to wrap up today. I'm going to wrap up. I still need to figure out a topic, but I think kind of the blind messaging and connecting with people is a good one. And I will be back here tomorrow. My plan is to be here every day this week, except every day this week. I can be online every day this week. I will be in Phoenix on Thursday, though. So you'll be catching me from there. Friday, we'll see. But anyways, I will make sure that I am here all week for you guys, 8 to 8:30 Pacific, 11 to 11:30 Eastern. Whatever questions you guys have, please shoot them at me. I will start on this Wednesday. I'll let people know. I will post it. I will start going through. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start next week. That way, give you guys an opportunity. If you don't have the book, order the book, Power of Five, John Maxwell. Barbie put a link in there. I'm going to start next Wednesday. So next Wednesday is the 2nd. That's actually my daughter's birthday. And we will start going through weekly Power of Five. Yeah, look forward to it. And talk to you guys all again later. Bye.